Nice. Is everybody on?
Sorry, one quick question. All right. Hello, everybody. I'm very happy to welcome you all to our info session for iGorts 2021, specifically targeting North America tonight, US and Canada. I'm very happy to introduce our participants tonight. I have Karin next to me from the iGorts coordination team. We have Heik from Austria, and we have Sheila Pailan from Canada and Hasmik from the United States, who are iGorts fellows and are going to share their experience for the current iGorts 2020 program with all of our participants tonight. We are going to start with a short video, basically giving us an overview of the iGorts 2020 program, and then Karin is going to give us a summary of the iGorts 2021 program and explain how you could apply and what are the eligibility criteria this year for all of you who are interested to apply for our iGorts 2021 program. Good luck, everybody, and we're going to start with a short video right away.
Hi, everybody. I'm Corinne, and I work at the Office of the High Commissioner for Diaspora Affairs on the iGorts program. We are very, very excited to announce the launch of iGorts 2021 for its second year of implementation. If you haven't already heard about our program, iGorts is a unique program that gives Armenian professionals from the diaspora the opportunity to come and serve in the public sector of Armenia. The main objectives of the program are to encourage professional repatriation and to bring the expertise and knowledge of the diaspora in service to the Republic of Armenia. Our call for iGorts 2021 has already been launched on the 2nd of March, and the deadline is on April 15th. Following the selection process, final results will be sent to selected candidates in July and early August in order to allow the participants time to move to Armenia and start their program in September. So who can actually apply to iGorts? The eligibility criteria for this year's participants is as follows. A bachelor's degree with at least 5 years of relevant work experience is required, or a master's degree or higher with at least 3 years of relevant work experience. The candidate should also have studied and or worked in the diaspora for at least 5 years. And although this is not a mandatory requirement, we realize that basic fluency in spoken Armenian is highly desirable, as it will very much facilitate your communication with your peers at your workplace. Again, this is not a mandatory mandatory requirement. And for those who are not fluent in Armenian, please do not refrain from applying, as we realize that many highly proficient and qualified diasporan Armenians might not know the language. If you qualify for the program, then we will do our best to place you at an institution where the lack of knowledge of the program will not be an impediment to your work. So what do we offer? In return for your service, the government of Armenia will be providing each participant with a round-trip air ticket, a monthly stipend of 336,000 AMD to cover your living expenses for a year, emergency medical insurance, and the fees for a temporary one-year residency permit. Candidates from different fields of expertise can apply. The list of fields of studies is published on our website as well as within the application form. But please note that it is not an exhaustive list, and candidates from various fields of studies from various sectors of expertise are encouraged to apply. For the application process, please note that you have the option to fill it in 3 languages, either in Armenian, English, or Russian. Prior to filling in your application form online, we recommend that you have the following documents ready in order to aid you and facilitate the application process. Firstly, you need to have a short motivation letter prepared with a 1,000-character limit. That includes your main reasons for application and your expectations from the program. Secondly, you should have 2 reference letters. These could be of academic or professional nature, or if you are an active community member in the diaspora, then it can be from one of your community leaders. Again, these reference letters can be submitted in either of the 3 languages, English, Armenian, or Russian. Thirdly, please have your resume, your CV at hand, as you will be asked to upload it at the end of the application. Once you have all these, please start filling your application, and we'll very happily receive it on our end. The selection process is as follows. The first stage is the initial shortlisting process, which will begin after the deadline of April 15th. The shortlisted candidates will be invited for interviews with respective ministries or departments that are in need of their expertise. Candidates might not be able to have interviews with might have more than one interview in one or more state institutions. Please note that you have the opportunity to note within your application form your preferred institution. Following the interview process, candidates will receive their final response around July, August, and will receive a complete information pack to help them move to Armenia and start working in September. Once accepted to work, the participants should be committed for a full 1 year of full-time work. They will have the opportunity to also participate in forums and meetings with public officials, private sector representatives, and repatriates in Armenia. And they will also be able to partake in excursions to visit historical and cultural sites in the regions of Armenia. Thank you.
Thank you, Karin. So we will be expecting to get questions on the application process. Our participants tonight will also be sharing their experience and the challenges they faced during the year as iGorts fellows. What we're also going to allow is that you can ask your questions in Armenian, in English, or whatever language you feel comfortable, and we will be replying to the questions accordingly. So there's one comment specifically that we have all the information published in the page. Please follow us on our website. The Office of the High Commissioner for Diaspora Affairs has its website on diaspora.gov.am. You do have all the information there. We do have all the eligibility criteria written there as well. But if there are additional questions that you may need answers to, this is where we have the info sessions, and please feel free to ask us any question that you may have. I'm going to start with the first question, which is basically about the start of the program, taking into consideration, as Karin put it, that the program will start in September 2021. There's a participant who cannot make it in September, but would rather come in October. Would that still be okay to participate? Would that still be okay to apply? Karin, if you may answer this, and then we'll proceed with the rest of the questions.
Well, we are hoping that all our participants do start in September this year. Last year's experience taught us otherwise, and we now know that there are many things that are not in our hands, such as COVID pandemic of last year, which made the travel for a lot of our participants very, very difficult. So please, if you feel that you cannot start in September, apply anyway, and if eligible, then
we have another question, which is the following: is there a word limit for the answers to the application?
There is a word limit for the motivational part. It's about 1,000 characters, which makes about 100 to 130 words, if I'm not mistaken. So that part, please keep that in mind, but the rest are very easy questions, so it should not be a problem.
The following question: is there any vacation time, and if so, can you leave the country, return home during that vacation time?
Yes, all our participants are required to work full time, which means about a 9 to 6 in Armenia, and they're eligible for all the public holidays as well as 20 days of vacation days. Yes, you are allowed to leave the country and return home during that vacation time, but of course the iGorts program needs to be made aware of you leaving the country.
I'm going to proceed with another question. It says, can a diasporan who has repatriated to Armenia only last year apply? Honestly, we've had this situation for our iGorts 2020 program, and we had a lot of diasporans, Armenians from the different diasporan communities abroad applying. The criteria that we have set for this year is that to have a minimum of 5 years living in a community of an Armenian community in the diaspora. So working or studying would still be counted as living for 5 years. So as long as you have at least 5 years in the diaspora, it does not matter if you are in Armenia, because we realize we have a lot of talent, a lot of professional experts who are already relocated to Armenia, seeking job opportunities, and we think that this would be an important, let's say, start to anybody who would like to repatriate. And we do have a lot of our participants who are willing to repatriate, who have already decided to repatriate. And we know this comes with a lot of challenges. So maybe I would give the word to our participants to speak a little bit about their challenges as repatriates themselves. I'm going to start with Sheila. What are different challenges you've had since you've repatriated to Armenia? It would be interesting to share it with everybody who's listening to us tonight.
Hi, sorry. Hi, everyone. I mean, I don't like to focus on challenges because I think that just makes them bigger, but there for sure have been some. I've only been here a little over 2 months now, and I joined the European Court of Human Rights Representative's Office, which is a really, really great office and great team. So, you know, I am one of those people that speaks less Armenian than perhaps I would like. Let's put it that way. You know, so at least like I'm with an international team, and it's not mandatory for me to speak Armenian to work. And yeah, some challenges, just like the usual, you know, any move of that magnitude. I think I expected it to be easier because it's Armenia, but actually in some ways it can be harder because, you know, I would expect like, oh, you know, I don't know, that I would be quickly integrated and quickly welcomed in all forms of work with open arms. But it's, you have to earn your stripes. You know, you have to like eat your vegetables. Let's just put it that way. And other than that, just, you know, I guess the context and the work, the subject matter of what I do, it's a little bit harder for me to, so I specialize in international human rights and human like laws of war and genocide and things like that. There's something about doing that in Armenia, which for me is just a little bit more emotionally, you know, special and difficult. So those are some of the challenges, but nothing insurmountable.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sheila. Hi, any challenges that you've encountered during the year? I know you've joined us since last year. Any challenges related to you adapting to the lifestyle here, work-related challenges or language-related challenges that you would like to share with us?
Hi, I'm Haik. Yeah, work-related challenges. It was probably figuring out how to be part of a new work culture. Because before moving to Armenia, I used to live many years in Austria, and I personally overcame this problem with my, I would say, work habits, and also showing flexibility, and also staying engaged. And in my case, also my colleagues, the ministry, they were very open and also responsive, and which was also helpful in overcoming these challenges. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, Haik. Hasmik, you know, I know you've joined us just very recently, but are there any challenges that you've encountered so far, and how have you faced them?
Yeah, so hello everyone. Yeah, so as Akasia mentioned, I've been here for a little less than 2 months. And I think this is a super first world response, but walking to work is totally new for me coming from LA. You know, we're so used to driving. And so I think that's been a challenge. But one of the ways I've overcome that is just getting comfortable shoes. In other ways, I think it's just adapting to a totally different way of doing things at work, adapting to a totally new work culture, and just trying to adapt and fit into that, and you know, do things the Armenian way. And I think overall information overload in the beginning was a lot too, but you know, over time you just kind of you get accustomed to everything, and things just start flowing a little bit more smoothly.
Thank you, Hasmik. I'm going to have to proceed with the rest of the questions now. There's a question about which government agencies are participating.
Well, to answer that question, the list of the government agencies that are participating can be found on our website, on the iGorts page. However, I can tell you that many different and diverse government agencies are participating, starting from the Office of the President of Armenia and to the different committees, such as the Food Safety Inspectorate, Education Inspectorate, State Revenue Committee, Urban Development Committee, and the different ministries as well. So it is really very varied and it's a very extended list.
We do have, we are letting our participants or candidates who are wishing to apply to choose the different ministries or departments that they see themselves fit, and they see that their expertise or let's say their educational background would be a good fit for that specific agency. We do leave you the freedom to give us at least 3 options during the application process to tick the departments or the ministries that you would like to work in. Of course, we just want to notify that the decision at the end of the day would really depend on the needs of the ministry, of the respective department that you would be assigned to. So we are going to make sure as a team that the professionals that we are getting, the experts that we're getting from diaspora are a good fit to the needs of the ministry. So the following question is the following: is some home remote work envisioned as part of the program, or would it be the traditional approach of being in the office every day?
Okay, so since the program is in country, and the idea behind the program being in country is that we expect our participants to be involved and be all hands-on, in the sense that we want them to come into the office, get to know their peers, their colleagues, learn what it's like to work in Armenia and what the challenges are. And therefore, we would like that all our iGorts participants do come into the office every day. Having said that, as we all know, this year was a unique year, in the sense that many of us had to work for extended periods of time from home. So it honestly really depends on how things develop. However, we would like everybody to be in the office as much as possible.
Thank you, Karin. So the next question is specifically about apartments. Does the program help participants find an apartment, or is it the participants' responsibility to find an agent, etc.? So prior to joining the program, once you receive our final answer that you have been accepted as a participant of the iGorts 2021 program, if participants need help in terms of apartment, in terms of bank accounts, and any other everyday challenges that you may have, we are ready to help. We do have a list of brokers, we do have different websites, and we do assist the candidates to find their apartments. Of course, this is not an easy process, and this is not an easy process in any country in the world. If any challenges, and we've had candidates who've had problems, we as the Office of the High Commissioner for Diaspora Affairs, we already assist our compatriots who have decided to repatriate for Armenia with any challenges they might face, and this is one of the challenges that we deal with on an everyday basis. So feel free to reach out to us, and we will help you find the right apartment, or at least refer you to the brokers or the agencies who will help you directly to find an apartment that basically fits your needs. The following question is: what should the references include?
So what we expect the references to do are to give a clearer view of who the person who is applying is, in terms of their expertise, their character, their qualities, and their experience that they have. Since we have a very large amount of applicants, this is also a very good way for us to get to know you during the shortlisting process. The references do not need to be referred to us directly, in the sense that it does not have to be directed to us. However, and there is no time span for the references. However, the newer they are, of course, the better.
So the next question is more about integration and the work environment in Armenia. Basically going to leave our participants to share their experiences on this. So the question is the following: could you maybe share examples as how did you integrate in the Armenian teams, and if there were any or are currently any backlash from our local compatriots? I think this would be interesting because we have 3 participants that are currently working in 3 different ministries or departments. I would love to hear from you if you had any problems integrating within the teams, and if there are any specific challenges that you felt that you had to face in terms of your colleagues or current staff that are working within the ministry. Housemate, your work at our office, let's start with you, and then I'll leave the floor for our other participants as well.
Yeah, so as part of the Office of the High Commissioner for Diaspora Affairs, I was very fortunate to be welcomed with open arms. In terms of integration, any concerns or issues regarding that, our office is actually composed of kind of like a mix of diasporan and also, native Armenians who are people who are from there. So there's like a really nice mix. There's a nice dynamic in that regard. So I personally didn't experience any issues there. It seems like the people in the office are very open to hearing what I have to say. They're very open to hearing my perspectives on things or doing things differently. So yeah.
Thank you, Hasmik. Haikjan, any specific challenges that you felt like that or you faced during the year with the staff? I know it's a very different working environment. We don't regard it as a challenge. We regard it as an opportunity to change and create an impact for the homeland. What is your experience in regards to that?
Yeah, in my case, it's also in Hasmik's case, I was also lucky because I'm working at the Ministry of Economy, and my colleagues they also welcomed me with open arms. And so from the first days, I was fully, I would say, integrated in a workflow. And also what helped was sharing of ideas with our colleagues, or sharing of experience. So in my case, I would say that I didn't meet any backlash with my colleagues. And also coming back to your previous question about language issues, I also speak Armenian, so maybe that was also kind of helpful in this case. So yeah, I wouldn't any specific backlash. Yeah.
Thank you, Haikjan. Sheila, how about you? We know that your Armenian is not that fluent. Anything specific to the language challenges, or if not, maybe related to the work environment, or the different methodologies or style of work? What could you tell us about that?
Definitely no backlash whatsoever. But when I arrived, it was a really, really, really busy time for my office. Like I literally, I landed at a time where they couldn't be busier. They were preparing to file a huge application. So it was more about getting their attention. I felt like I had a bit of trouble getting anyone's attention so that they could show me the ropes a bit, but I understood very quickly that it wasn't like, it's not personal. It's just that they were so busy, So it's more, I had to I made that extra effort to really try to establish the rapport. And so I actually got really good advice from somebody in the iGorts program who said it's good if you reach out and invite people to lunch and make it a point to have lunch with your colleagues so that you establish this rapport. And they were so open to it, of course, so it's that time outside of the work environment, and that's what really broke the ice and made it really then I really integrated. So that was a really good tip to get myself more in, put it that way.
Thank you, Sheila. So the following question, is there a possibility of reaching out to the current or past participants for questions, advice, etc., not just during the program, but also before applying? So the reason why we are doing those info sessions is that you could hear out from our participants, get their experience, and everything that they have felt and lived and faced during this year as iGorts participants. We have all the profiles. We're slowly updating them on our website, on the Office of the High Commissioner for Diaspora Affairs website, so diaspora.gov.am. Feel free to reach out to us, email us if there are any specific fellows that you would like to be put in contact with. We are ready to make those connections. Part of our work is also to create those synergies and the connections between experts from the diaspora, Armenian experts that are currently living in Armenia. Feel free to reach out to us. We still have another info session upcoming during this week, specifically for Australia and New Zealand. In case you have missed any of the info sessions, you could go on our website or our social media platforms. You'll be able to listen to them. If there are any specific questions that you do not have answer to, please write to us. At the end of the info session tonight, we'll be posting our iGorts email and phone numbers. Please feel free to reach out to us with any additional details that we are not covering during these info sessions. I'm going to proceed with the following question, which is, are the salaries competitive?
Our iGorts participants don't really receive a salary. What they do receive is a stipend that covers their living costs. Considering that the minimum salary in Armenia is about approximately $150, more or less, and the average stands at about $400 to $500, our stipends should be enough to cover the living costs of all our participants.
Thank you, Karin. Following the next question, do you have any who came with their spouses and kids? You could tell about the participants who came and how they were. I mean, what kind of experience they got during their year in Armenia.
Well, we do actually have iGorts participants that have come with their families. We have many such examples actually, and you can hear some of them speak during our previous info sessions, which are also recorded, and you can find them on our social networks. Their experiences are varied, starting with finding kindergartens and placing their children who are at different ages for the different participants. And I think that for most of them, it has been quite a positive experience. And again, you can hear them say so themselves during our recorded info sessions.
The following question is an interesting one. Has there been any instances of participants starting a position and changing offices midway if their skills don't end up being a good match to their original work placement? Karin, if you may answer, and then I will leave the floor to our participants also to talk a little bit about their work-related experiences.
So the iGorts staff is very supportive of the iGorts participants, in the sense that we have regular assessment, both group ones and one-on-ones with all our participants, trying to support them in their new work and in the challenges that they're facing, and together to come up with all kinds of solutions to those challenges. In many cases, we are able to find solutions to those challenges successfully. However, if in any case those challenges are not, we are unable to get over them, then we have had cases where some of our iGortsers have switched to different ministries or different departments within those same ministries that enable them to match their expertise with the work of that department in a better way.
What I would like to add is that the iGorts coordination team has frequent evaluation meetings, and we have a feedback mechanism in place related to the participant, but also to the job site, so we can get feedback from both parties. So the recruiter, the employer, as the ministry, and the participant himself or herself. So we make sure that in case we do have this kind of challenges, we as a team are ready to help. And we've had participants who basically switch their places of work so that we can make a better match for their expertise and their experience. I would want to hear a little bit from our participants as well. How much do you think your skills are a good match to the ministry or the department that you are assigned to? Would there be anything that you would like to change? Or is there, what kind of impact do you feel like you're creating, putting your expertise and experience into work? Sheila, maybe I should start with you.
So I definitely didn't have the experience of it not being a good match. Quite the opposite. It's not it's a perfect match, but my skills actually match many other ministries as well, or different offices as well. So what I do like is that it's still early days, but I've been given sort of a little bit of flexibility and creativity to think about how to also support in different ways, or tie, like depending on the project or the task at hand. I'm not necessarily limited to just one office. I can, if another ministry might need a little bit of help with something, you're not glued to one place. So it's not that it's a bad match, it's a great match. And then I also match other places, and I'm really happy to also be of service where that comes in,
Thank you, Sheila. Hi, John, any words from your end?
Yeah, in my case, it is also the great match, and I will say that we work with the team on many projects, and what is fantastic, I will say that seeing the results of this work, seeing the impact after implementing, after accomplishment of tasks. Yeah. So in my case, I would also say that there is a perfect match. Yeah.
Thank you, Haikjan. Pasmik, any thoughts? I know you haven't changed offices, and we hope you're not going to change offices. But how do you think your skills are being put to good use in our office?
I do come with a political science and public diplomacy background, so I'm kind of like intertwined with like international relations, and I also have I've also specialized in public relations and marketing. So I currently work with the PR team at the Office of the High Commissioner for Diaspora Affairs, which I'm very happy with, and I get to practice my skills very effectively and efficiently with the rest of the team, and I'm given very PRE tasks, I guess you could say. So with that communications background, it's definitely being put to good use.
Fantastic. I'd like to note that we did have a few participants who, after a few months of work, felt like they had to change. They had to be in a department that their skills and their expertise would be put to good use, and we as a team coordinated that happens without really challenging or putting a break on the work that they were doing. So this is possible. We as a team were continuously going to follow up to make sure that everybody is settled and everybody is in the right department. We're going to proceed with the next question, which is the following. What's next for you after the one-year term? How many participants plan to continue working in the public sector? We already have 25% of our participants who are willing to repatriate. So that's a very good indicator. Karin, could you tell us more about what happens after their year of service, or what kind of opportunities are in front of our participants currently?
Well, once the year ends, our office was going to try and help as much as possible in order to help the iGortsers that want to stay in Armenia find different positions that are suitable for them. for them. These may be in their current departments or not, but that again really depends on what the ministries and the offices that they are working in, whether they have open spots, whether it is going to be possible for them to keep them. However, we will be trying to help as much as possible in finding suitable positions in that sense. We also have examples of e-courses that have already found permanent positions. One of our e-courses, Haig Markarian, who was working at the Ministry of Economy, is now the head of
technology transfer department within the Ministry of Economy. And he is currently seeking specialists in innovation and technology transfer, marketing and sales of technologies, intellectual property and patent, license agreement lawyers, international library managers, and business managers in general. So this is a very good example of the needs of the different ministries and the departments. Prior to you joining the program, we are going to have different positions that are sought after within each ministry or department of work, and we are going to do our best to match them to make sure that your willingness to apply matches also the needs of the ministries. So this is a very good example of different positions that are currently in need, and we hope that we're going to fulfill these needs with our experts from the diaspora. Another question. Can an individual support iGorts without necessarily being part of iGorts as a mentor or a specialist?
If there are people that would like to support iGorts or any of our other programs without actually taking part in them, or on a voluntary basis, or without being in country, then we are our office in general, the Diaspora Commissioner's office in general, welcomes the receipt of CVs and of people just letting us know that they can be helping and they want to volunteer in a certain field, and we try our best to find the right way to get them to be active participants.
If you feel like you are not going to be able to be committed for a full year of full-time work in Armenia, please feel free to send us your CVs regardless to by email so that we could look at it in case there are any, perhaps virtually or perhaps with your presence in Armenia, that we could find something that is in, an emergency or urgency or a need to a specific ministry. We will be very happy to create that link and make that possible. I wanted to note, and I think that would be interesting to everybody who's willing to apply, that our participants, besides their work at the different ministries, also have the chance to, first of all, have a full immersion to the Armenian life. We have recently started Armenian dance lessons that our participants are taking twice per week. We also have a lot of social events and social gatherings that we have on a weekly basis. During the war, I should say all of our participants were actively involved. Besides the work that they were doing within the ministries, everybody was cooperating, everybody was pitching in with everything that they could. A lot of them we're working in groups to make, big projects possible. In the same time, we've had a lot of volunteers as well joining forces with us. So this is just few examples that when you are an iGorts fellow, it's not only, the impact that you're creating at the ministry level, but also the impact that you're creating for Armenia, for the homeland itself. I'm going to go forward with the following question. Որևէ լեզվի իմացությունը պարտադիր է, օրինակ գերազանց հայերեն, անգլերեն կամ ռուսերեն։ Շատ արագ պատասխանեմ, որ այս տարվա դիմորդների համար մենք նկատի ունենում ենք հայերենի իմացությունը, քոնե բանավոր իմացությունը, որովհետև ունենք նախարարություններ կամ գերատեսչություններ, որտեղ համակարգողները եւ ձեր գործը անմիջապես որ առնչվում այս համակարգողների հետ դժվար է լինելու, ասենք առանց հայերեն լեզվի իմացության։ Դրա համար խրախուսում ենք, որ հայերենը կարևոր է, բայց նաեւ այս մեկը բարտադիր չափորոշիչ կամ չափանիշ չի։ Այսինքն, եթե հայերեն լեզվի իմացության խնդիրներ ունեք, խնդրում ենք, որ դուք անպայմանորեն դիմեք, մենք նկատի ունենալով ձեր հայերենի իմացության մակարդակը, ձեզ անպայմանորեն հաշվի առնելով այդ մեկը կտեղադրենք այդ գերատեսչությունների կամ այդ նախարարությունների մեջ, որտեղ համակարգողները նաև օտար լեզվի իմացություն ունին եւ կարողանում են ձեր հետ հաղորդակցեն, որպեսզի գործը կարողանա լավ եւ օպերատիվ ձևով դուք կարողանաք աշխատել։ Following question is about our iGorts participants. How many iGorts participants do we have this year, Karinjan?
We have 52 participants this year, and we're hoping to have the same amount next year as well.
I want to get a little bit of feedback from our participants. Looking at all of these extracurricular activities, sometimes the social events that we have together, the dance lessons, how would you say, what would be your words of advice or encouragement to everybody who's willing to apply in terms of your experience here in Armenia? Not specifically related to your work placement, but specifically in Armenia. How do you think this experience is? A lot of you have never been in Armenia. A lot of our participants have moved to Armenia for the first time ever with the iGorts 2020 program. Some of them have already visited. It would be interesting to hear from you, how is your full Armenian experience here in Armenia? Sheila, perhaps with you. I know you're visiting a lot of regions and you're perhaps having a nice experience with friends and around in Armenia. How was that for you?
I don't think there's enough time for me to say it properly, but this is my fourth time in Armenia, and I've been coming back and forth with a lot of space in between since 1997. But this time is the most special, and not only because of honestly, the iGorts program is really, really good, and it's really cool to meet people through the program. It's just a lot of diasporans, and we're all kind of in the same bubble, in the same, not bubble, but boat, fish out of water almost. But other than that, there's also all these other repats and really, really, really interesting Armenians. And there's this really great vibe here right now about trying to make Armenia better. I mean, you can't feel that unless you're here. You can't feel it unless you're here. And I meet such cool people. I almost don't have enough time to and once you meet this new person, they're you just hit it off so fast, it's nothing I work for the UN. I worked for the UN, obviously I don't right now, for 13 years. And so I know how to make fast and furious friends, but it's not the same as here. It's you meet someone, you click, and then you're sort of in it together, so that's sort of for me this really interesting Armenian experience that's quite unique to this place.
Thank you, Sheila. We also do feel there's a very nice network of Armenian diaspora experts that I think iGorts has created, and it's been lovely to get to know each one of you. Haikjan, anything on your end in terms of adapting to the life here and enjoying the life in Armenia? How was that for you?
Yeah, it was a great experience. First of all, I was coming to Armenia. It's not my first time, every 2 years. and also it's chance to get to know other iGorts participants. It's very interesting. It's a very great experience since you get to know a lot of Armenians from all over the world, and it's also a chance to serve for your country and gaining and sharing of experience, and also an opportunity to repatriate because this is the aim of this program. And I personally started to think about coming back in year 2019, and afterwards this program caught my eye, and I applied for it, and after a couple of interviews, I received an offer. And now after 6 months, it's becoming more and more interesting and more exciting.
Thank you, Haikjan. Hasmik, how about you? How is your life, your everyday life in Armenia, and how you've been adapting to it?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. It's been really fun. It's been very different, I think, overall. I think, aside from this really exceptional opportunity to be working with the government Armenia and alongside such awesome people, I think my umbrella advice would be to kind of be open, to just really just open yourself up to everything that comes your way every day, kind of take things day by day. And I think overall, just try be open to like loving Armenia, be open to loving it for its beauty, for its realness, its rawness, its difficulties, and just be open to understanding. I think try to understand the people around you, try to absorb everything, just be a sponge. I think there's a lot that we can learn from being here and just from living life here.
Thank you, Hasmikjan. Before we proceed with some words from our participants, I wanted to inform you that those info sessions are saved and you could visit them again on our website and social media platforms. In case you have missed any, you are welcome to listen to them again. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. Before we let all of you go, I'd love to hear some words from our participants in terms of, any message that you would have to anybody who's listening to us tonight, any word of advice, why you applied, why you think is a good idea for others to apply and join our program. Anything you would like to tell everybody who's listening to us tonight. Haikjan, let's start with you.
Yeah, I can. It's a great program. I can only suggest it, and I'm encouraging people to apply for it. As I mentioned, it's a chance to come back to your country, to your homeland, and serve for it. And afterwards, after working here, you can also stay here and to serve your country longer. So I will only suggest so, and I will also like to thank iGorts for this great program. Thank you.
Thank you, Haikjan. Hasmik, any words from you? Any advice or anything that you would like to encourage our participants to apply for the iGorts 2021 program?
Yeah, totally. If it's a dream of yours, like it was for mine, to contribute to Armenia in a meaningful way, be a part of the governmental process, just be a part of your nation and try to be a part of its growth, then I definitely suggest iGorts. Applying to iGorts, this is it. Like, this is you getting your feet wet. Like, this is, you are actually part of it. You are doing it. I don't know like any other way to say it. Like, we are definitely part of nation building, and this is the way to do it. iGorts is the start. It's the end. I can only say really good things about it.
Thank you, Hasmik. Sheila, any last words on your end?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always encouraging anyone who will listen to come, whether it's iGorts or not. But like iGorts is a great way to come. And actually, you know, it's a competitive program, so it's like you'd be lucky to have to get in, you know. So like, do it. And then there's also one thing I usually hear, which you know, I guess surprises me, but it shouldn't surprise me so much, is like a lot of people think that they can't do it somehow. Like, oh, it's too much. It's a year. It's like very disruptive to your life somehow. And it's so much easier than I think people think. Just I did it. I put my life on hold. Like I put my job, my career, you know, I have a partner. He's going to join me. I didn't plan it. This just happened. And it's so worth it to just take that leap of faith. It's probably the best decision you'll ever make in your life. And I really think that like anyone who doesn't do this or try, it's a big reward at the end of that leap. So I highly recommend that people take it. iGorts or not, come to Armenia. Like iGorts makes it easier. So come to Armenia. Like we're waiting for you.
Sheila, thank you for your last words. I think it's a great way to wrap it up. As I've said, in case you have missed any of our info sessions, please go to our website, visit our social media platforms. If you have any additional questions, we invite you to write to us, to call us even, diasporafellowships@gov.am. Please reach out to us. If you have any, difficulties applying, technical difficulties even, please feel free to write to us or call us at +374 10 515 514. We encourage everybody to apply. We are waiting for you. We will make everything easy for your transition to Armenia and to your work placement here to come and serve in the public sector of Armenia. I thank all of our participants tonight. Thank you so much, Sheila, Hasmik, Haikjan, for your constructive feedback, for sharing your experience with all of our listeners tonight. Thank you so much for being part of the program and for sharing everything with us. Karinjan, thank you for your informative overview and your presentation tonight.
Thank you, Akasi, for moderating tonight.
All right. We are going to say goodbye. Please reach out to us, and we are already waiting for you to come to Armenia and serve within the public sector of Armenia. Thank you so much, and good night.